Hey, good morning there. So, welcome back to Intro to Statistics. So, we're still talking about doing scatter plots and correlation coefficients. And I'm looking at the next problem in line that we have here, thinking to myself, wow, I have a high blood pressure issue. What a great problem this would be. So, again, if you're looking for, like, I wonder what kind of problems he's going to pick for a quiz, this is a real good candidate because first off, it's medical information, and I know a lot of people are going into healthcare. And secondly, like these numbers, like you can remember like 130, 116, 133, maybe not in that order, but as you're typing them in, you can remember which the last one I put in was this pair. You don't have to remember which 74 or which 73 you put in. So I like this problem because first off, there's only 10. There's not 15, there's only 10. And then the numbers are different enough so that you can keep track of which one you did last. And again, all I did with this, okay, because I just wrote them down on a piece of paper because I can't see the screen as well, and I just put them like that so I could keep track of them as I listed them off. Okay, and I'm not sure what the best way to go is, so I'm sorry if you're having trouble with this. I don't know, like maybe what a good strategy would be. This is the one that's been working for me, so hopefully that helps a little bit. But if you come up with one that's better, feel free to share. So again, I don't want to use the pencil because I don't trust me or Alex to accurately put the pencil where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to use this point plotter tool here, and then we're just going to go in and say, okay, well, I've got 123, and the next is 77. Plot it. And then it gives me a brand new one, 119. Okay. To tell you the truth, I would be happy for all of these blood pressures. 118, 88. Okay. 130, even 130 is better blood pressure than I usually see. Okay. 130, I have 116. Oh, there we go. 116. Okay. And 70, about the point. Okay. Then we need 133 and 91. Okay. 12, 75. This is also why I'm kind of glad when I do a quiz, I set it for two options or you give two possibilities to do it because how hard is it to misenter one of these things, right? So I get that. I really don't want to take points away from you for misentering something like that. At that point, I think we're there with our values there. So we'll go ahead and say we're good. I think we're going to go ahead and say we're good. So we check. Is there anything? I don't think Alex for this because there we go. Okay, so we got the green mark. That's great. We made the scatter plot. The next thing they're going to ask us to do is to figure out a correlation coefficient. So we're going to go to our calculators here. We're going to hit, okay, we're going to hit stat. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and clear the previous list because I've got my previous homework sitting there. So we're going to clear list 1, comma, list 2. Don't delete them, just clear them, okay? And enter, and it's done. Because that when I go back to stat and I say edit, I don't want to delete this L1 and L2. If that happens, I know there is a way to fix it, but I don't know what that way is offhand. So I would encourage you not to break it in that way, and you'll be better off. So it's one I'm sure you could find something on YouTube how to fix. I'm sure I could too, but I'm just going to go ahead and type these in: 123. 119, 118, 130, 116, 133, 112, 107, 110, and 108. Okay. And then we're just going to go in and type in the other side. So 77, I don't want a decimal point. If I do that, we'll just delete. Okay. 69, 88, 76, 70, okay, 91, 75, 71, 74, and 69. Just making sure I have both of them there at the same time. Okay. So that was kind of therapeutic for me. And then all we're going to do is we're going to go back to stat. We're going to say test. test. Okay, other calculators have slightly different commands to do this. Okay, so this isn't the magical only way to get this number. Okay, it just is on the 283. All right, so we'll go down to where it says lin reg t-test. It's linear regression t-test. We'll talk about t-test a little bit later in the course, but for now, this gives us all the numbers we need. This is the only way I know how to get correlation. I'm sure there are other ways. Enter. We want list 1 to be X, list Y to be list 2, or Y to be list 2. Okay, systolic measuring, predicting diastolic. Again, if you're remembering, like the systolic was the X1, those are the ones I put in first. The diastolic, those are the ones I put in second. Those are my Y values, so on the Y axis here. Okay, so we'll go ahead. I don't need to change anything else. There's nothing else here that's meaningful for me. I just want that correlation coefficient. Enter. Into 3 decimal places. We'll go ahead and write that down. So I'm looking for R. And again, all of these other pieces, you know, they all mean something, but we'll get there. And just not in this chapter. So we want 0.2388. It says 3 decimal places, so I'm going to round it. So this 8's going to round that guy up to a 9. So 0.239, and that's our value there. So 0.239. Okay, there's our spot. Oh, I didn't like that at all. Okay. To 3 decimal places, did I point? Oh, you know why? No, that was okay. 0.239. Go back and double check to make sure stat. Go ahead and edit my list. Make sure I type them in correctly, because if I don't have them all in, that's going to change. So just double checking. 18, 130, 116, 133. You've probably already seen it. Oh, there's a 133, 112, 107. Oh, there it is. Look at that. 110. Aha. That'll change things. Okay. So let's just double check this side just to be safe. 77, 69. Again, if you can work with a partner, even if somebody's not taking the class and you're just working with a partner, like double check to make sure I take these in right, so you can check off with somebody else. You know, that you can't do it on a quiz, unfortunately, because you have to do the environment check. You have to make sure you're doing this solo. Okay, but I can appreciate the whole you know, double checking or having some way to double check your data entry part. Again, it's not a major. I mean, it's going to help us get the right answers, but that's not what we're trying to teach here. Okay, so we're going to go stat tests again, lin reg t-test. All the way down here, E lin reg t-test, enter that. Again, we don't really need all of this other stuff right now. We're just going to hit calculate, enter, and then we're going to go down to where it says R. Hey, look at that! It changed. It changed by a lot. So this is 0.61. This 7 is going to turn this 6 into a 7. So we're going to have 0.6. 610, 61. There it is. 617. Okay. 617. The 7 is going to turn the 6 into a 7. Okay, round up to the next one. Okay, and then we'll check that. Right, hooray, we got the green check mark, so we're ready to go. If somebody's diastolic pressure was above average, would you expect systolic pressure to be above average? Yeah, it would, because we have a positive correlation. Okay, so again, if you're taking blood pressures regularly, I highly recommend it. You'll notice, like, when you have a bad day and one goes up, the other one's probably up too. Okay, that does not surprise me at all. So it would also be expected to be above average because the correlation coefficient is positive. Okay, when one goes up, the other one goes up. Okay, I'm not saying that the systolic is causing diastolic to be up. That's not what we're saying. We're just saying they both happen to move up at the same time. Maybe you had a lot of salt. Okay, maybe you had a bad day where you got stuck in traffic and people are yelling at you or whatever. So you're a little stressed. So they're both up. Okay, so there we go. And then we're going to continue on. I'm just going to finish the last little one here because they don't have a lot of calculations on this one, which is fine. A survey between US adults showed that there's a negative correlation between age and education. So if I was going to think about this, I would write a little pen, right? But so we age and education, so we have age goes up. I'm trying to write with the mouse. It's not a skill that I have. Okay, and education. Okay, something like that. Okay. So as age goes up, education levels go down. Like I don't really have a good reason. You think as people became older, they would become more educated, but maybe not. I mean, it's, people age, older people. It doesn't cause. Okay, there's your trick right there. It does not cause. We're not making the causal relationship. We're just saying that they two happen to be related. So as age tends to go up, education level tends to go down. Okay, there is a negative correlation between the two variables. Okay, a correlation does not imply causation. That's what we want to say. So increasing age to become less does not. And there might be a cause. I don't know. I mean, I could look back at parents, grandparents. It was easier to get a decent job without high levels of education than people of this age were getting their work. So that might be why. But I'm not a sociologist. I'm not an education person. I don't masters in education, so I'm not going to know what the exact reasons are. And that's okay. I'm just looking for like, hey, look at this. There's a relationship. Okay. So hopefully that helps you get through section 4.1, and I'll start a section on 4.2 very soon. So thank you for tuning in, and have a great day.